Alright, y'all. RMJ Movie Reviews back again. I got it kind of at an awkward angle. I'm actually driving right now. Duh. And, I'm actually, just heading out, run some errands. But I decided, I'd give my thoughts on, Bad Boys 3. The announcement for, Bad Boys 3 and Bad Boys 4. I saw the, oh yeah, that was a bad chick. I actually saw the original Bad Boys at the movie theater when it came out in 1995. I was 13 years old. I was in the 7th grade in middle school. And that was a really big deal back then because, Martin Lawrence was at that time, young, up-and-coming black comedian. He had his television series, Martin. Will Smith was, a rapper turned actor, comedian. Will Smith wasn't Will Smith then yet. You know what I mean? He had, I believe, 6 Degrees of Separation, I think. And I think he had one other movie role, but Will Smith had The Fresh Prince, too. So he was up and coming, too. They were both, I think, late 20s, early 30s then. And it was a really big deal for, for them to come together and unite for kind of this action comedy movie. And I remember I went to go see it at Southgate Movie Theater in Bedford, back in Cleveland. And it was a packed house, man. That movie theater is now torn down. It was in a little outside shopping mall. But it was a packed house, man. Everybody laughed at all the jokes. It was a good movie. And then we had to wait, I believe it was 9 years. It was 8 or 9 years or something like that. Then Bad Boys 2 came out. Now, you have to remember time period. Now, Bad Boys 2 is 2003, so, that's some years ago now. But the second Bad Boys film didn't come out until I think I was 21 at that time. So from 13 to 21, I mean, that's a long time. I did not like the second Bad Boys film. And I know there's tons of people who suck off Bad Boys 2 like it's the greatest action picture of all time. I would disagree with that on 2 levels. Number one, well, let me digress a little bit. Going back to Bad Boys 1. Bad Boys 1 was also good, not only because it united Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, who were they weren't really competing, but they both had very popular black television shows at that time. So it was good to see them come together. Big hit. Everybody who was my age liked it. I'm not really quite sure if the adults liked it, but at least people who were teenagers and young adults at that time consistently seemed to like the movie. And Michael Bay was the same age as them. I think Michael Bay was 30 or something, 27 or something like that. So his style was very brand new. Kind of the dolly shots and every single camera angles and the shaky cam style was very new. Although it worked for Bad Boys, for the first one. Now going back to the second one. Will Smith was a superstar by that time. Martin Lawrence, not so much anymore, but he was still doing rinky-dink, corny comedies. Michael Bay was a superstar director. So you had 2 superstars. Superstar director, superstar. You had Martin Lawrence, who was just kind of hanging on. He wasn't what he was when the first movie came off, which really, at the time, Martin Lawrence was kind of more considered. Because really, if you look at that first movie, Martin Lawrence really more drives that movie than Will Smith does. Will Smith more kind of drives the second film, and Martin Lawrence just kind of, as much as I hate to say it, he kind of plays more sidekick to Will Smith in the second movie. Okay. Michael Bay was a big-time $1 million director, aside from Pearl Harbor and I think The Island, which were considered Michael Bay flops. He was still a big-time director. This is pre-Transformers. But he still, had some hits under his belt. Bad Boys 2 was a very obnoxious movie. I did not think Will or Martin were very funny in that movie. Martin looked like he was going to have a heart attack that movie. He looked very just tired. He just looked tired in that movie. And I could tell too, Martin was on medication. And he has this kind of bloated, tired look that whole movie. He just looked tired. Will Smith, on the other hand, stepped up his game, and he kind of was muscling Martin the whole movie. I didn't think either one of them were funny in that movie. There were a couple gags that gave me a chuckle, but I didn't think it was funny. Everybody laughs about the whole intimidate the boyfriend scene. I thought it was just placed there for no reason. There was no purpose for it in the story. Like, had they introduced that boyfriend character earlier in the movie, and he would have been an obnoxious kind of thug, it would have justified what they did later in the movie. But they just kind of just threw the scene in there. It was needless and cruel. It was not funny. And Bad Boys 2 was a very obnoxious... It was an obnoxious little movie, man. And as far as the action being hardcore, you can make hardcore action movies, but I think, you know, like a movie like The Last Boy Scout or Die Hard 2 or Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, you can balance the graphic violence and the profanity, but you have to balance it with some sort of humanity. Bad Boys 2 just beat you over the head with just inhumanity, and you just get numb to it. It's overly grisly, not balancing moments of grisly violence like, say, Die Hard 2, balancing it. It's just the entire thing is gruesome. The whole thing is disgusting. Will and Martin aren't funny. There's forced humor. You know, it's just an awful movie, and I don't even think it's a great action picture. You know what I mean? I do think the car chase is pretty good, with the trucks flying off. It comes so early in the movie, you know, that should have been the finale. It just, I don't like Bad Boys 2. I very, very much hate that movie. You know, I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was just I did, like I said, the car chase on the freeway, I thought it was fun. And I like the scene where, like, Will and Martin, where they kill the KKK guys. An obnoxious scene, but I like some of the action beats in it, like with Will Smith shooting 2 guns and rolling on the ground. That was cool. And I kind of like the gag where they go to the Haitian drug dealer's house, and they have the shootout where the camera goes in 360 degrees. That was cool. Pretty much after those 3 sequences, I just hated the whole movie. I couldn't follow it. I don't like Bad Boys 2. It's an obnoxious, filthy little dirty movie. Now, on to Bad Boys 3. I'm not excited for Bad Boys 3. It's been too much time. Of course, because I really like the original film, even though it's a smaller, low-budget film. You know, I'll go check it out. I heard that Michael Bay is not supposed to be directing it, which I'm very, 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 very happy that Michael Bay is not directing the film. If anything, I don't know who they choose to direct it, but they need somebody who has a sensibility for putting some type of humanity in the movie. You know, have the humanity in between the good action sequences. And the thing is, Bad Boys 2 was so bloated and so much stuff flying around. I mean, I don't really see how they could top it action-wise. But I think what they need to focus on is adding a better story, better comedy, because Bad Boys 2 didn't have the comedy. It wasn't funny. You know, Will Smith and Martin need to actually invest in this movie and actually give genuine performances versus you know, cashing a paycheck, which is what I think they did with the second one. I didn't feel any effort in that second one to me. In the first one, you could really feel that they were trying, and you know, they said nobody believed in the movie on the commentary track. You could sense their effort. They wanted to make a good movie. Second one, that's just all cash. Everybody was on cruise control. As far as them making a part 4, they need to just stop. Nobody's going to go see Bad Boys 4, in my opinion. So what they need to focus on 3 is having a correct number of action sequences. I think if they keep it to 5, if they have a really big action sequence for the beginning, a really big one for the middle, and then a gigantic one for the finale, and then have 2 tiny action beats in between those 3, I think they'll be all right. And just have the comedy be funny, have more involving characters, just make it a better story with more humanity. Don't be so inhuman, I don't know if they can do that, but I think definitely if you take Michael Bay out of the director's chair, I think you got a better chance of it being a better movie than just some old bullshit where stuff blows up every 5 minutes, which is what Bad Boys 2 was. At least Bad Boys 1 at least had the decency to attempt some kind of humanity. Bad Boys 2 just throws it all out the window, So, now, this is going to be questionable for anybody who's watching. I say John Singleton should direct Bad Boys 3 because John Singleton can really, he has a good sense of making characters feel real in his movies. So I think John Singleton should direct it, and I think he would be able to harness William Martin's talent a little bit better in terms of the comedy and the character interaction, because Michael Bay has no sense of that anymore. With the first Bad Boys and with The Rock, he could do it, but now, he's just all fluff, no character involvement. So, those are my opinions on really more Bad Boys 3. Bad Boys 4, I just think they just need to forget about it. Just if they do make Bad Boys 3, which I don't believe they will, but if they do, make it the last hoorah, and just try to make a movie with more human feeling than Bad Boys 2. So those are my thoughts on Bad Boys 3 and 4. RMJ Movie Reviews. I'll come back with my movie review of The Gift. And then I'm going to come with my crime movie review of the 1988 Dennis Hopper directed film Colors, starring